know what though? I did have one good experience. I did have one really, really positive. So it was in that transition phase of getting out of New Age. I had already made the decision that I wanted to follow God and I wanted to learn more and develop a relationship with Jesus. And at the time, I was big into experience because I didn't have any positive experiences. And, you know, everything spiritual that I had before that was demonic attacks and stuff. And I was praying about that for a while. And I was asking God, you know, I really do want to get to know you. And I don't want you to just be some kind of idea or concept in my mind. Like I want some kind of actual real thing. And it's not to prove that you're out there and that it's real, because I already know that. It has nothing to do with that. I don't need it as proof. You know, I'm not asking for a sign. You know, that was the main thing. It's just I wanted some kind of I didn't even really know how to word it, and I still don't really know how to word it, but I know what the feeling was. The main point being, I wasn't actively looking for anything. I wasn't actually thinking something's going to happen, and then one little thing happens, and then automatically, oh, that's a sign from God. I wasn't like that. So I was laying in bed this one night, lights on. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't, you know, I was just kind of laying there. And all of a sudden I started to hear this singing, but it didn't sound like it came from like another room or in the room. It sounded like it came from inside, but it was really pretty. It was really beautiful. And it was a single voice. It wasn't, you know, a multitude of angels or anything like that. It was just a single solitary voice. And I didn't know what to think about it. So I just laid there and I listened to it, and it went on for a little while, a few seconds or maybe a minute, or, you know, and it started to kind of fade off, and then it was gone. I thought, well, that was weird. And I remember before I had asked my father-in-law, how do you know, okay, you know, you say you hear from God, and you know, I believe you, but how do you know that you're hearing from God and not something else? And he said, well, anything that God tells you, you're going to be able to confirm with the Bible. You're going to be able to confirm with his word. You know, he did the whole 2 or 3 witnesses thing, and he said there'll be confirmation there, and it'll be, you know, it'll be something you didn't know before. There'll be some way that it's not you'll know it's not a demonic trick kind of thing. The book of Zephaniah, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that there was a book called Zephaniah. Never heard of it. I had no idea what it was about. Never read it. And so after that happened, I went and got the Strong's Concordance, and I thought, okay, I don't know what that was, but I don't think it was an angel. Is there any verse that talks about God singing? And I had never heard of one. You know, I've never heard that. I mean, I would assume you probably like singing. So I looked it up, and if you look up sing and all the variations of the word sing in the Strong's Concordance, there are so many entries. Like there's just so many. And this was before I knew anything about Blue Letter Bible, where I could have just found it in like 2 seconds. So I looked up every single one. There is one verse in the whole Bible that talks about God singing. And it's Zephaniah, I believe it's 3:17 or 3:18, somewhere around there. And it says that God in the midst of thee is mighty. It says stuff about salvation, and it says, and it talks about him singing. But when I read that was an answer to my salvation problem. That was an answer to, oh, in the midst of thee, he's mighty. He lives in me. His spirit lives in me. And he's singing to show me that he's there. He's actually there. I don't ever have to question this again. And here's my proof, because I didn't know about that verse. I'd never read that before. There's no way that my subconscious mind just kind of put this together to get rid of anxiety. Because if my mind could do that, I wouldn't have had to deal with years and years of anxiety and depression. It wasn't until I got into this stuff that all of that went away.